of New South Wales.
This is the beginning of the outback of the desert area. You can see all this cow shit here on the ground.
The cow shit on the ground.
And here's the cow.
And look at all the pollution. Plastic bottles.
You can see from one end that's going out of the desert into what they called explorer country. The road was straight. See the type of terrain, and that's the other side of the road. There's our outback sign again. Here's a helicopter that was donated by the Australian government in commemoration of the big flood in the 1990s, where Nyngan was all devastated by floodwaters and the whole town was submerged underwater. Look here!
In action! He's taken a helicopter before and I have not.
Oh, here we go. Yeah, but you don't even remember the place we've been to.
So how this is army helicopter and that's the tail. What do you call the thing that swings on top?
Call the rotor.
That's it.
Rotor blade.
And I don't know why the trees, they have chopped off the tops. And that's Raymond again. Hello.
This is Nyngan town centre. About 2,000 people.
Museum.
What's the name of the place?
Nyngan Museum.
Nyngan.
Nyngan. Today is Sunday and it's closed. This is Nyngan in the Outback town. It's Sunday, it's pretty quiet. It's a very small town.
This is still Nyngan, looking at the willow tree and the nice beautiful colouring setting of the lake or river. Don't just stand there like a dummy, just say something.
The view is so beautiful.
Bird waiting for a train. This is the Bogan River. Get out of the picture!
Who is this?
The mad dog. Go slowly with the panning. I already took that shot. You keep with.
This is the opposite of the bridge that Raymond wants us to take.
Raymond wants it.
See the sun and the thing. All you see is.
We are now in Cobar Museum. Some of the artefacts of the old age. There's an old fly screen watering spray which you pump. Sharpen it up, that's it.
Sorry. Okay, you stay there, you stay.
Wait.
We are now at the replica mining underground.
Under a building at the visitor centre.
Yeah. It's a bit too dark.
Some copper ore. Here's another copper ore. This is inside the museum building in Cobar, which is essentially a copper town. We're at Cobar at one of the open cut quarries, which is all dug out by shovels and picks and horse-drawn carts. And the quarry and the rocks were taken to the gold mine and copper mines to build up the foundation and slopes of the walls. Thanks, mate, for that interesting yawn. Some of the hydraulic machinery. This is the Outback in New South Wales, Cobar. This is a Garford fire truck built in 1926. Yoo-hoo. It's a carriage railway where the doctors and nurses used to come and treat the kids in the Outback area. This is for washing. Small little kitchenette. This is a railway carriage. This is like the area where they treat the family who was sick. This is the outside of the rail carriage, the Far West Children's Health Scheme. Now it's part of the museum.
This is Cobar, the town of copper.
You take this one, not me. This is the mining, copper mining.
This is the town called Cobar with about 5,000 population. Somebody is running away from me.
Thanks. This is Fort Burke Lookout at Cobar.
This is...
This is an open cut gold mine. You can see the tunnel down below there.
Quite dusty.
It's the roadway for the trucks to go. You can see them snaking their way down and down to the valley. This is the Outback landscape.
We are now at the
Fort Burke Lookout. There's the backdrop of the Australian Outback in New South Wales. You can see the red soil, sparsely populated trees.
and it's very flat.
Your head.
It is bushland. And there's our car. This is the gravel road towards the Devil's Rock. Raymond is going very, very slowly. And these are what we are going through.
We're in the desert now.
We are in the desert with
Outback.
plenty of trees,
See the red soil.
a lot of cow dungs. And see how slow we are moving to protect our car in a pristine condition. Raymond?
Yeah, yeah. I'm concentrating.
It's concentrating because we are going through a little steep. Yeah.
This is a closer up shot of Devil Rock. Local Aboriginals consider this place evil. And we're now in the Outback. This will show you some of the terrain. You can see the red soil. This is a big hole near the Devil's Rock. Quite deep. This is the other side of the Devil's Rock. This is a memorial for the miners that lost their lives in the copper and gold mines and zinc and lead in Cobar. We're at the weather station in Cobar. This is where they do all the meteorological readings, some of the testing equipment. This is in the Outback. Measures the lightning strike, can measure 60 kilometres away. It measures by electricity difference between the atmosphere and the bottom. On Cobar weather station. The man putting in the data we just recorded. Here's the weather balloon going to go.
Okay, now you see inside the balloon at the bottom, maybe, if it turns itself around, there's a squiggly thing up in the bottom of the balloon. That's a parachute that's jammed up inside the balloon. You also see the radio sign, just like the one I got in my hand, which I'll explain in a second. It's unwinding down away from the balloon. It'll come down around about 50 or 60 metres down before it stops unwinding. Now the balloon's going to go up at about 1,000 foot per minute, and it will go up for around about an hour and a half, and by that time it will be quite a big balloon because it keeps expanding as it's going up because the air pressure around it is less dense, and so the balloon expands, and so it will eventually burst around about 28 kilometres high, or around about 85,000 feet. So it goes up a long way. Nearly twice the height of where planes jump.
This is what's on the end of the balloon.
They're basically manned by or run by this battery inside here. This battery is activated by water. So the whole process is started by water being forced in that hole there, and then it becomes active. Then the radio sonde is live and it starts sending back radio signals to the computers. Inside here is a pressure cell. These are humidity sensors. That one's a temperature sensor, and this is a GPS. So the GPS is working off satellites, giving us wind direction and speed every second as it's going up. So we've got pressure, temperature, humidity, wind direction and speed.
There's a balloon over there somewhere.
And basically I have to pick some levels within the trace that are significant, where maybe the temperature lapse rate changes, or the high humidity levels and things like that.
Ray is at the Weather Bureau of Cobar, which is run by the government, and they only have an officer or two officers taking turns making shift. These are the surrounding area. These are the equipments that takes the readings of the wind, of the amount of water collected, temperature.
This is driving towards Volcania in the Australian Outback. You can see the red soil. Look at the road. Oh, that dog. Goats. It's the Australian Outback. Here's some emus in the Outback desert. And there's May clinging to the car for dear life in case the emu comes at her.
I will run.
We're on our way now, just outside of Wilcannia, on our way to White Cliffs, about another 90 kilometres. We're just approaching White Cliffs. You can see the White Cliffs over there in the backdrop. That's the town. Still in the Outback. Some towers or telecommunications, satellite dishes.
Okay, we are driving towards the White Cliffs, and look how barren it is. It's very quiet here, windy and cold. Here's our car. We did about 1,000 kilometers now.
We're now at White Cliffs in the underground motel. This is the entrance, the reception area. There's the water tank. It's an overcast day today. It can get very hot here in summer, probably 46, 47 degrees. Swimming pool. This is some of the Outback area. It's still in New South Wales. This is the underground, one of the guy's homes. He lives in this cave, or the underground dugout, as they call it. It's an old opal mine. Still in the underground.
Very big, you know.
2-bedroom place.
Oh, Jesus, I want to go mad here.
Too thin and no colour.
Been trying to rifle back there.
Yeah, I'm just coming to take a picture.
Now at the underground room,
In the bottle room,
in the bottle room.
where the old bottles are.
Shelves of old bottle beer.
Take the roof too.
Hello.
This is Jock's place, his home, the underground dugout. This is his lounge room. little lounge room. The kitchen area.
Just came out from Jock's place. That is his little
Dugout.
dugout, his home, kitchen, bedroom.
There's a dugout house you can see in the distance. That's where the people live underground. Could be 40-50 feet underground. Constant temperature year round about 22-23 degrees Celsius.
It's already covered, isn't it?
Yeah, you can see all the pockets of these mounds where there's shafts. The old mining for opal. Old abandoned cars there. Looks like the surface of the lunar moon. You can see some of the mining equipment that still seems to be in operation. These are still white cliffs. You can see the mounds of the burial shafts. Other mining equipment. Here's some danger mining area. There's a shaft there. It's been covered over to protect people from falling in. We're now at White Cliffs in the underground motel. It is already 12 at midnight. This is our room. No windows. It's a cave underground, probably 40 or 50 feet. There's a single bed. There's a wardrobe. There's the doorway. There's May. There's our bed. Our towels hanging up. There's the ceiling. This is a dugout. It's about 22 degrees Celsius. This is the corridor of one of our hotel dugout. It's called the Underground Hotel. This is the wall.
Are you having the key?
I've got the key. This is the room numbers. How does this work?
Can we go now?
Yeah. This is my darling's wife, Mad Dog. This is dugouts from room 8 to 16. There's the bathroom there. This is the informal lounge. This is the night sky in the desert in the Outback. We have the toilet back in the underground hotel.
You are drunk. Where's the key?
What for?
Give me the key.
What for? Yeah, 12 at midnight. That's the underground. This is on our way to Broken Hill. We're about 130 kilometres away. We're about 77 kilometres from Broken Hill. This is some of the desert area, so flat, hardly any trees. So for May there. photos from Broken Hill. You can see some mining equipment over there in the distance.
We are now at Broken Hill. This is a lookout. Behind Raymond is a Broken Hill mine.
Slip over that way too, to the left. So serious looking. So serious, look at the face of it. This is the backdrop of Broken Hill. It's the second largest producer in the world for iron, lead and zinc. Some school. There's the big mining operations there in the backdrop and the houses in the front. Here are the sculpted rocks in the desert, done by 12 artists, took 6 weeks to do. The rocks came from Wilcannia area. Here we are looking at another sculpture. There's the Outback and Broken Hills are there in the distance. You can see the rainbow. Yeah, there's another sculpture. The Outback again, towards Adelaide way I think.
This sculpture is called Under the Jaguar Sun. By which country?
Don't know.
The sun is shining bright now.
This is the Moon Goddess, done by a sculpture from New South Wales. Now you've got to come over here.
Here we are at the sculpture, and Broken Hill is at the back of Raymond.
Zoom.
This is the whole area of the sculptures.
That's how far we walked. There's our car park right down the bottom. It's about a 20-minute walk uphill. There's a car there. Hmm?
Not video picture. We take this.
Buy these aircraft, they cost $8 million each, and out of that $8 million, $2 million is allocated for modifications. So those modifications are done in Bankstown in Sydney, and it takes 6 months to complete.
This is the nerve centre of the Royal Flying Doctor Service, where they answer all the calls. Royal Flying Doctor Service Museum. Here's a patient from the mental asylum. There's a dentist's chair, doing work in the Outback. Some of the old radios medical chest that is given to the people who live in the outback, and all of the things are coded so people can treat themselves by conference to the radio. This is how people refer to their pains by a grid, left and right, 1, 2, 3 and so on, and on the back. This is what hurts me.
Okay, we are at the Royal Flying Doctor Service of Australia. Which is located at the airport in Broken Hill.
Standing on top of the actual BHP original mine is the backdrop of the Broken Hill city. There's the restaurant, top of the hill.
This is Raymond. Guess where he is?
On a big stool, in a big chair.
On a big red bench. And look how tiny he is compared to this large bench. They even have to have a stairs for people to walk up.
Sitting in the car, won't get out because it's too bloody cold. Useless thing. This is the site of the Broken Hill mining. And that's the memorial to the miners. Some sculpture. And that's the restaurant we had dinner last night. This is the site of the actual Broken Hill. That's the Broken Hill town across the road.
We are going to...
Del Pratt's underground tours.
Yeah. And this is the lift that we are going to go underground. How deep is the underground?
I don't know. They'll tell us all about that.
This place is about 100 years old.
That's where we're going to go in. That's the cage, the elevator shaft.
So far.
That's the elevator shaft that we're going to be going down. This is the winder machinery room that runs the cables for the elevator shaft. That's the cable going up through the window. And then it picks up that shaft there. And you can see the cables on top. Here's May in her miner's outfit.
Here's Ray in the miner's outfit. And the camera bag.
Look. Bill Pratt's mine. That's the booking office. The headline. Just for the battery pack. Yeah.
Heavy, you know?
Doing aerobics with weights. Yeah, bring it to black line. We go to the mine. We're in the underground mine, 1200 feet.
I'll see you in a week's time.
Great Eddie.
lecture room now.
More seats down here. Come down here, love, you'll get it. So everyone bunch up. We've got to be friendly here, I'll tell you. Get everyone and sit where you like. But these women, just move down there, mate, and give them that lady a seat.
There's a jackhammer.
That's a shot. Not going to go anywhere.
Into a mine now, deeper and deeper. Here in the mine, deep in.
So them people can get in, that's a
Center
shot.
of the mine.
Is that flat?
We are now at the junction of the Murray and the Darling River in Wentworth, about 269 kilometres south of Broken Hill. So this is the junction of the Darling and the Murray rivers where they join together. It's in a little park, like a reserve. Here's me, now in Leeton. We're in the main town centre, a nice little reserve park.
We are in Leeton and behind is a big power tank.
Water tank.
Water tank, okay. And this one is a motel. Pretty old building.